Welcome back. You are listening to Tunnel Talk here on the Real Estate Radio Network every Sunday, 3 p.m. on 660 a.m. The Answer. Thank you so much for staying with us. We are here now in this segment with Mr. Ron Borderlawn of Engage. It's his company. He's a business coach. It's a coaching company. And he has spent the last 18 years coaching business owners and leaders who want to continue to grow, to continue to stay on the leading edge of business and continue to empower and make a difference in their employees' lives and the lives of the community. And he's with us here today. Ron, thank you so much for joining us.
It's great to be here.
Glad to have you, and I'm looking forward to your insight, and I know my listeners are. So, guys, I know we have a lot of business owners that listen to this show, a lot of just successful financial and service professionals that either have teams or want to grow a team. And this type of material is very good for you, too. And, when we talk about financial wellness, well, one of those ways to increase your financial wellness is to be better at your business and generate more profit for yourself. But there's certain ways to do that, and there's probably certain ways not to if you want to leave a legacy. Would you agree with that, Ron?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so Ron here has been doing this, again, 18 years. Ron, how did you get into the business of coaching?
Well, I had a traditional financial background through the Big Six and later as treasurer of the Trammell Crow Company. And along the way, people kept talking about my dealing with the relationship side of business as well. So after the real estate crunch in the late 80s, I went out on my own and blended together two facets that rarely get mixed, and that is the finance side and the people side. Mm-hmm. And I see them as one, and I think that's critical for business success.
So when you talk about things that are critical for business success, there are a lot of challenges along the way to get to that business success. What are the biggest challenges that you see that your clients are facing right now?
They're frustrated about putting all the pieces together. It used to be easier, and as the world gets more gridlocked and more complex, things are less in their control, they're stumped. They don't know whether they need to work harder or more intensely or in a more controlling way or just go to the other extreme. And there's a lot of middle ground on how they can have their cake and eat it too in a new economy, a new world.
So, John, we're both, obviously, I run a company. I run a branch of a much bigger company, and I have about 10 people that work for me. You run your own company, Texas Community Insurance, and I think you'd agree things have definitely changed. Are you in a similar boat too? And I know in some of our talks, it's like you're doing a great job managing it, but it's a little more difficult today.
It's a lot more difficult today. It's the people skills, getting the right people in the right spot to do the right things at the right time. That's the challenge. The science of the business itself isn't as hard as getting the people to do what you need them to do.
And these are the kind of challenges that you face every day, Ron?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hear people all the time say, I know how to serve my clients, but it's running my own business that's got me stumped.
So what are the biggest things you do? So when someone says that to you, someone comes in like John, let's say, or me, and it's like, man, yeah, look, we got a lot of moving parts now. For me, there's just a ton more regulation that's just thrown on us, just dumped on us all the time. And it changes the type of people we need to hire and what we have to have them to do. And everyone seems to have to work harder to get really a little less done. And it's when some of us, like someone like John or me, comes to you that and says, hey, man, there are a lot of more moving people. It's getting people in the right seats on the bus and doing the right things. What do you do to help us? How do you walk us through that process?
I reframe their challenges. It's a complex world. We can't do much about that. What I help clients do is I strip what's complicated out of the complexity. It's a lot deeper than simplifying. You can take something as simple as you have a number of offerings and you try to standardize everything and you're frustrated. And you're frustrated because what's complicating it is you can't normalize or standardize everything. So I uncomplicate it, and I do it by not just telling people, I show them how to do it.
So how do you, for instance, when you talk about that and they come to you and they have those challenges, how do you show someone how to do that? What are some of the steps you take?
I look into their own leadership style. No one's a perfect leader.
Yep.
And I convince them, if they're not already convinced, that management includes people that work with them and below them, and to use them much more than many have in the past. So things like listening well, things like asking great questions, And the king that nobody wants to talk about is they have to have the courage to be vulnerable. One of my best bosses at Trammell Crow thought nothing in his excellence of asking someone that made 1/10 his salary to explain something to him that he didn't understand it. And would you help me? And you have to be vulnerable enough to do that, or to admit that you're changing your mind, or you have mixed emotions.
Why do you think that leaders have, and managers and business owners have such a problem being vulnerable?
I think we've all been nurtured in the West anyway, that our value comes from how much we already know and how great that is, instead of valuing someone and yourself by showing a tremendous desire to learn more. Build on the past, but tremendous curiosity.
Be nice if you took that mindset to Washington now, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Curiosity is thought of as a passive, weak thing in many people's minds, and it's like listening. It's one of the most powerful things that we don't use very much.
So what are some pieces on that? I'm curious, that's one of them. So be curious. If you're listening to this,
Right.
Be vulnerable, right? So if I'm taking away from this, and if I'm listening out there, these are the notes I would want to take is, as a business leader, a good reminder is you need to be vulnerable. You don't have to know everything. Brian knows that. How many, do I come off like I try to know everything?
Not even close.
I probably go too far on the other extreme. My wife says I know 4 things. I'm like, 4? Great. That's one more than I thought.
4 things in 28 parts.
That's right. So, but I try to do those 4 things good, well. What's the right way to say that? Well, there you go. I try to do those things well. So, curious, have courage to be vulnerable. What other pieces of advice do you have for the listeners today on leadership and being able to make sure that their business is aligned with the market, and to try to, on their own, there's some steps that they can take to make a difference in their company and their team today, tomorrow, when they go back to work on Monday?
I would think that it would be a grand feeling when you retired or stepped down as a business owner to have your employees think to themselves as you walked out the door, that was a guy that was demanding but fair, and that was a guy whose mantra was transparency is worth the risk. And he walked the talk on that.
That's a good takeaway.
Completely agree.
If you can't do that, man, I tell you, there's just, I think we've all, and have all worked for those type of bosses at some point in our lives. Maybe you haven't. I used to work for other people, and I used to have that boss that was just a tyrant, and you'd say he had an open door policy, but that door was open about 2 inches. And you'd peek in there, and he'd be on his computer looking at the screen. And he'd say, hello, sir. Yes, could I come in there? Sure, yeah, come on, sit down. Typing for like the next, just looking at the screen and just sitting there. It's like, I'll wait till you're done with that email. 10 minutes later, he forgets I'm there. He kind of looks up. It's like, it's high, so he can't even see me. He kind of just looks up a little bit. He's like, oh yeah, what'd you want? And then I ask him the question. Oh, I'm sorry, what? And so it's just a pointless, and if you have the, you know what I mean? So don't be that boss. Please don't be that boss. Brian's laughing because he's like, that's you, dude.
That is so you.
But I don't say I have an open door policy. I just have a glass door so everyone can
Yours is
see
the only
me.
door without a lock on it.
And you lean over a little bit so we can see you, would you please?
Yeah, that's right. It's horrible. I try to get some work done. I'm like, I can't have privacy in this office. This glass door. I'm not here. Please don't see me.
At least it's tinted.
Yeah, that helps a lot. That helps a whole lot. So, Ron, what else do you see? Do you think it's, you work with these people every single day and they go through your courses. Do you find that what you're doing is working?
Absolutely, because they take ownership of it. By not telling them what to do, but instead moving into their space, honoring where they are right now and starting there, then I transfer and I show, and they then get in the saddle and do it their own way. So it's natural, it's genuine, and they realize that self-awareness is a big part of leadership. Get to know yourself rather than trying to become this or that.
So, when I've taken business coaching before, and I have a business coach even right now, and so one of the first questions is, what kind of quantifiable results can you get me? Mm-hmm. And so I know that in this type of situation, people want to know, they want a place to start, and it's great to start with being vulnerable and having some core competencies and just some core philosophies and putting on different lenses to see your business and see the world with. But what are the things can you, in your brain, do you think you offer that is absolutely critical for a business owner to know to get the results that they're going to get from working with a guy like you?
They'll find value where they didn't find it before. They'll find value by expecting to be surprised. They'll find value in welcoming input. They won't see curiosity as weakness. And as far as quantifying, that's always a tricky thing. And the way I answer that is when we're through on a scale of 1 to 10 or whatever, you will rate highly these kind of things. I'm more impactful. I have a calmer confidence. I don't perform. I express who I am. And I'm a facilitator who brings out the best in everybody. So collectively, we're doing a heck of a lot more, getting a lot more done, and finding unforeseen value. That's the key. Be a kid. Be curious. Expect to be surprised every day.
I like that. Guys, you got to expect to be surprised by your people. If you're not, they're probably inhibiting their creativity and their ability to be the best they can be. And that's the business you really should be in, connecting and helping people achieve their maximum potential, and therefore your business will and your life will. That doesn't just go for business, it also goes for your other relationships. Find people doing something right, and you'll help them the best, and you'll become the better person that you can be. Ron has a great topic on your website called Shift. If you want to find out about that and find out how to make a shift, a powerful shift in your business, text the word shift to 469-319-0660. 469-319-0660. Text the word shift. We'll get you connected with that free educational material so you can take some steps to be a more powerful, more impactful leader at home and at work. Ron, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
You got it. All right, coming up, I'm going to show you guys how to calculate and how to find out how much you can afford with a click of the button on the go without having to mess with any of us pesky loan originators or mortgage people. And we're going to get with our good friend Brian Moore for the hottest new tech toy around. I'm sure of it, in More Cool Tech with Brian Moore. So stay with us.